Hello, hello, hello. Happy Tuesday. Sorry, I'm looking at something. How's everybody doing? I hope there's not any lag, but there might be. So let's see if I can go in my special mansion tonight. It's kind of working. Yeah, I'm back in my mansion for tonight. Hey, cool gamer. Hey, Amber. Oh, Punkette, always. This setup my daughter's got working in here right now is amazing. So yeah, I'm in the closet again with her. But actually I'm in my mansion now if you can't tell. But if you do hear yelling, it's my son yelling in the other room at a game. So they have one more night of freedom before school starts again. So they're living it up. But no, I can't stand that. I'm going back to the regular. Hey, PJ. I need some better backgrounds. I just like the blur. It makes me feel mellow. Okay. So, um, most of you have already know about EliZa Fletcher. Obviously, her body was confirmed this morning. Hey, Aaron, we are going to listen to a little bit of the press conference. I'm sure everybody here has already, you know, heard it and gone over it. But I'm actually going to shut my camera off only because it's lagging really bad. Okay, so here we go. So I am about to show, we're going to listen to the press conference a little bit. The new affidavit has come through, but first I want to read something. And I thought this was very cool because it's not even cool, but there has been an abnormal amount, especially today, within the last 2 days, of people saying on different social medias, Twitter, all that jazz, well, that's what you get for running at 4:30 a.m. and just hey Salem, some very disheartening things. And somebody, who is it? Let's see. Oh, it doesn't even say her name. It just says anonymous on Twitter said, let's change the narrative from EliZa Fletcher shouldn't have been out at 4:30 a.m. to this man shouldn't have been out looking for a woman to snatch at 4:30 a.m. And I just think that's absolutely, and JB from News Nation, who we all love and think is awesome, he posted this 22 hours ago. Allow me to share something I shouldn't have to. If you are blaming a loving mother and a hardworking teacher for her own abduction because she went running early in the morning when it's easier for many moms to get in exercise, please go stare into the mirror for a while. Hey Sandy, hey Izzy girl, hey Salem, Pamela, anybody I missed? So let me tell you something. So that actually let me get on my soapbox here for a second. Before I get on to, all the facts that we've learned and stuff, and some of my opinions on it and where we're going to go from here. But one thing I want to say is that, so we have so people are having an issue with when this woman was running, which is neither here nor there. I don't care if she was running in a bikini, like whatever. That's ridiculous. But we're not even addressing the fact of the we want to constantly give prisoners second and third chances. Do you guys understand that as I dug into this guy Pookie's track record, his record doesn't just stem from the time that he oh, thanks, Pamela. From the time that he kidnapped Kemper Durand, do you understand that since he was about 12 or even earlier than that, he was in and out of juvenile detention centers I'm not talking, guys, for little things. I'm talking for robbery, assault, SA, all of these things before he kidnapped somebody in 2000. Got off after 20 years because what? Good behavior, 85% of his sentence served. And then 2 years later, murders violently, shamelessly a mother and a wife and a daughter and a friend. That's what I have an issue with. I have an issue with our complete messed up prison reform let's be real, y'all. This guy should not have been out. He was a ticking time bomb. This man had many years in prison. Exactly, exactly, Izzy. I mean, apparently, hey, Red Rock, hey, Caddy, juvenile detention center didn't do it, you know? And, and that's the thing is we see kids going to juvie all the time. But he didn't just go in once. He went over and over and over and over again for violent crimes. And it's, oh my gosh, hey, BC, exactly, Izzy. I mean, luckily tomorrow he is going to he'll appear again in front of the judge for the murder charges. And it is my understanding that the district attorney is going to ask for no bond, which I would assume that yeah, I would assume that's going to be the case. But if other Aaron, I know, it's it's horrible. Like there's this we're going to talk about another girl here shortly, probably tomorrow. Kylie, I believe her name was Kylie Anderson, a mom that she was seen by her son being put into the trunk of a car, and they can't find her now, and they can't find her or the suspect that they have. So it's just these. We've seen so much victim blaming. I look, even if, oh, sorry, I get on my soapbox. Even if Kylie Rodney's thing turns out to be an accident, and people say, well, she was drinking. Okay, but she was drinking. She didn't deserve to die. Like these, I don't know. And this, in my mind, until I'm proven otherwise, the husband to me is innocent. Like, I'm not saying that that's not going to come out, but at this point, we don't know anything about a nanny. We don't know anything about him having an affair or anything like that. All we know is that he was on vacation with his family into the end of July, so everything was good then. And I'm just saying, like, we don't know enough to make these assumptions. Oh, it's just really bothered me today, and I didn't realize um how much it has really bothered me, some of the things that I've seen people say. And I just think it's I just, hey, Diana, and instead of saying why was he ever allowed out of prison, we are saying why was this beautiful, wonderful mother, teacher, daughter, everything that she was, why was she running at 4:30? That's the question we're asking. No, I'm not okay with that. I'm not okay with that. Yeah. Yo, he literally threw her out like trash. All right, I'm gonna get to the facts because um crimes against their lives deserve, exactly, Aaron, exactly. So one interesting thing Amber caught, and then I caught it, was that he was charged with first degree murder. And I was under the impression that first degree murder does show some form of premeditation. So I'm interested to see more about, well, let's go, hold on, I got to share the screen, more about that. But there's a whole bunch of things we got to go over and I want to talk through. Um,
Law enforcement partners discovered the remains of a human body, in the rear of a vacant duplex apartment at the 1600 block of Victor Street. At that time, it was believed the unidentified body could
hey, Yvette.
possibly be the remains of kidnapping victim EliZa Fletcher.
Oh, my children.
Further forensic investigation by the MPD traffic unit positively identified the body was, in fact, EliZa Fletcher. This finding marked the culmination of a 4-day intensive investigation incorporating a robust search and rescue effort and the timely arrest of suspect Cleotha Abston on September 3rd, the day following the kidnapping. Cleotha Abston has been charged by MPD homicide investigators with the following state charges: first degree murder, first degree murder and perpetration of kidnapping, especially aggravated kidnapping and tampering with evidence. In addition, Abston has been charged with the following unrelated offenses: identity theft, theft of personal
Okay, hold on a
property,
second.
and credit card fraud. While the outcome of this investigation is not what we hoped for, we are nonetheless pleased to remove this dangerous predator off the streets of Memphis. I'd like to personally thank the
You know what? We're not going to watch a ton of that because I think we've all seen it, but there's other things I want to get to. Plus, it's glitching out because my son is playing. Oh my goodness. Anyways, I have watched her YouTube channel. She was such a yeah. I cried really hard when we she was singing like what is it? You light up something to her kids. I can't remember. Let your light shine or something. Um, yeah, Izzy Girl had a good point because he drove around for 24 minutes. So, but what I want to go over is I want to show you guys some pictures. So, first, you know how I am with my Google Earth. Where's Punk at? So so there was so many rumors flying around Facebook. First, she was, she was in a creek. She was buried inside a house. The last I saw was she was buried in a abandoned schoolhouse, all this stuff. So they did update her. Um, oh, there you are, Punkette, her affidavit. But this is per Google Earth, um, where she was found at this house. I don't know how often that they update. Well, it says 2022 because if you see something here, you'll all see it with me. I believe that sign says neighborhood watch. I can't get close enough to see, but does that mean somewhere around here that there is surveillance cameras? So this would be the front of it. She was not found on this side. She was found. Let's go around here. Whoops. She was found in the back over here. Um, and when we read the affidavit, it'll make more sense. But I think it's very surreal that the name of the street or it has 3 6s in it. That's downright creepy. Yeah, you do. Oh, hey, Yvette. I didn't know. I think I said hi, but I'm not sure. Did he serve his entire 85%? Yep, he got out 2 years early. No, excuse me. He got out 4 years early. Like, that's the other thing, y'all. And I know I get off track here a lot of times because I'm always like when something hits me with these lessons, I'm like, if you think about it, as her family, it just must be so horrifying to think if he just would have served his real sentence, if he just would have gone all the way, she would still be here. It's just crazy. Yeah, yep, you're right. So here is a couple more of the house, and then we're gonna go after the affidavit. The house was very difficult. Well, first here's the scumbag that here's his updated charges. So he is such a gem. His brother's still in prison, so I wonder if they'll get to see each other, and a cousin or whoever the other guy is that's in prison for murder. So he has the especially aggravated kidnapping, tampering with fabricating evidence, first degree murder, grade FM. I don't know. Well, I guess it would just be the identity theft, theft of property $1,000 or less, and fraud use of credit card $1,000 and less. Now, those aren't even related to um, EliZa. I believe when I was that former FBI detective that I can't say her name, Coffinder or something like that. I believe they used part of it. Hey, Rhoda Gale. I believe they used part of those charges because those were federal charges as a plea to get him to talk. I thought that, however, but now that I've gone through and listened to read the affidavit and all of that kind of stuff, I still don't think he has caught it all. He has talked it all, and he is still giving them very, very, very little information. Right, Izzy girl, it's not. Now I will say he was seen on camera driving to the street, which we'll see now in the affidavit, and the time frame of that. It actually puts him driving onto that street about 6 a.m. Coffin Dofer. Okay, I'll try to remember. But all right, let's go back to where did I just put? You guys are just gonna have to send me a big message so I can tape it to my computer how to say her name. Okay, so this is in the back here. This isn't where she was found. She's found here on the other side of it, but this is the back entrance of the abandoned house. And so look at all my spam. Oh, we're not going to look at that yet. So it's not allowing me to zoom in, but I think you guys can see it. This is where she was found, right back here. And I'll show you another picture. It butts up against the house. It is alleged. I don't know much about like stains and stuff, but it is alleged that this stain right here is, well, from her. Again, this is the other side. Y'all, so this is where she was found. That can't be truly a stain. Please tell me that's not really a stain. Is it? I mean, is it, y'all? Like, I don't know, but that's people's theories that are just, that's her. That's a stain from her. Hines, regardless, that's neither here nor there, but this is the area she was found, from my understanding, deceased. Please. Oh, man. They did a phenomenal job, Izzy. They really did. They were one step ahead of him. And so let's go to the affidavit because I think that'll answer a lot of questions. And that was just recently updated. Oh, All right, here we go. This is an updated affidavit. So as the abduction was violent with, as captured on video, the suspect waiting for, then rushing toward the victim, then forcing the victim into the vehicle where she was confined and removed and continues to be missing, blah, blah, blah. That's the end of it. Okay. On Monday, September 5th at 17:07 hours, Homeland Security, it tells you search for EliZa Fletcher near East Person Avenue and Victor Street, based on data from FBI CAS team, search team, and it tells you all the teams. Where they were tasked to search East Person Avenue to 1572 Victor Street. PI Fields walked northbound from East Person Avenue on Victor Street. He noticed high grass south of the vacant residence, 1666 Victor Street. The officers noticed vehicle tracks in the grass adjacent to the driveway of 1656 Victor Street, and the officers smelled an odor of decay. The officers panned out and walked in the rear of the location. PI Fields noticed a set of steps just north of the rear driveway. Wow. Wow. Immediately to the right of the steps, he located an unresponsive female lying on the ground and notified his search team members. Just thrown out there like that. The scene investigation revealed that the female fit the description of missing person EliZa Fletcher. Law enforcement from various agencies that were near the location canvassed the surrounding area at 18:15 hours. VCU Detective S. Westrich located a discarded trash bag approximately 100 feet north of 1591 South Orleans Street. The bag contained purple Lululemon running shorts that were consistent with ones EliZa Fletcher was last seen wearing. RTCC video analysts researched surveillance videos during the time of the incident. The videos revealed that on September 2nd at 05:48 hours, which is 5:48 a.m., the camera located at 3388 Cummings Street captured the suspect's vehicle, 2013 black GMC Terrain, exiting I-240 at the South Parkway East exit. At 5:50 hours, the suspect's vehicle was captured on the camera located at Kerr Avenue and Clancy Street, traveling westbound on Kerr Avenue. The vehicle turned southwest onto Havana Street at 5:52. The camera located at 1602 Havana Street captured the vehicle turning south onto Marjorie Street. The vehicle proceeded to turn westbound onto Person Avenue. A medical examiner with the West Tennessee Regional Forensic Center arrived and pronounced the victim deceased. She was later positively identified as EliZa Fletcher. So wow. So we have him then. Oh, let me catch up here. So do I, Izzy. And I believe Coffin Duffer believes that as well. Thought it was a huge with tall grass house with tall grass. Yeah, PJ, it does have tall grass now. It didn't in here, but I do from my understanding the grass had all grown up and stuff. My daughter was explaining to me some people in the area won't snitch. Yeah, Yvette, they haven't said a motive yet. Aaron, I don't know who has identified her first. I mean, I have heard so many things. I've heard that you see her mother walk into a field and identify her, but I've never heard them. I personally have not ever heard of law enforcement, and this doesn't mean that they don't do that, having family identify a victim at the scene. But, I don't know if that's the case. I don't know. But I also have footage that was released a little bit ago. Hopefully it will share well. But this is actually of him going to clean out his car. So this says this is about 7:57 a.m. Oh, sorry, I got to go through the ad. Hold on, I'm going to let you guys get through the ad. So there's him. This is at 7:57 a.m. He's arriving at his brother's apartment complex. There's the black GMC terrain. That is him when he immediately comes out of the house. So it was described on another channel. He went inside, he pulls in. I'll read what it says here in a second. He said it immediately goes to the passenger side and is just cleaning frantically. Disgusting. So it says that this shows Cleotha absent cleaning out his car after the abduction. Video shows him arriving at Longview Garden Apartments, where his brother lives, at 7:57 Friday morning, more than 3 hours after Fletcher was forced into an SUV while she was jogging near the University of Memphis. He sits in the vehicle for a while when he first gets there and then goes to the trunk. It's hard to see exactly what he is doing, but he runs to his brother's apartment unit shortly after. A few minutes later, oh gosh, sorry. A few minutes later, he comes back outside and spends more than an hour at the passenger side of the SUV. According to the documents, a witness said Abston was in a strange mood and vigorously cleaned the interior of his car with carpet cleaner and washed clothes in his house's sink. Wow. Okay. Wow. So, oh, I'm so sorry. Is he being really loud? I just had to like pound on him to tell him to stop because he's yelling at somebody. So um he called her and Aaron at 7. I believe it was a little after 7 that they is there nowhere else she can pursue her job. I have a grown up in the same area and have lived here for the last 31 years of my. Oh, you're talking to Izzy. I was like, what? So I will say, so we do have a more narrowed down time frame. Okay, well good, Aaron. Sorry. He gets pretty he so bless his heart. He doesn't quite understand that like he doesn't have to yell into the mic that they're going to hear him, and so like he can't hear himself back, so he just screams, and I'm like, you don't have to scream, buddy, he hears you. But so um she was kidnapped at 4:30, um and that means that around we see that around 6 a.m. He came onto Person Street, 602, I think. um does something obviously with her, gets to the house around that time. I would, let's say, give him a little bit of a grace, let's say 6:05, 6:10. Then ends up back at his brother's house at 7:57. So Punkette knows where I'm going with this. Punkette. So I would like to get a map of the timeline, because so 4:30, 4 minutes, they leave. Then he gets to where he's going with her at 6 a.m. That's so an hour and a half. He then gets rid of her. He clearly didn't spend much time getting rid of her, because he just tossed her out and ends up being back at his brother's at 7:57. Now we've got no confirmation whatsoever that there was ever that they found anything at McDonald's. Yep, exactly, Punkette. Um, and that so he's back at his brother's. So there's a good almost 2 hours of where did he go in between and what did he do in between, because it all went down. He dropped, threw her out, and was back to his brother's, which is less than, it was insane. Not far at all, a mile or something like that at best. 1,000 feet, I think they said, from where he cleaned his vehicle. So he was somewhere in that time. Um, where? I mean, did he go and was that when he go to McDonald's and get something to eat? I mean, was he trying to figure things out? I mean, what was he doing? This is our timeline. I don't think, I just don't think she made it past the 4 minutes. Did you, Izzy? I just, I just don't think that she made it past those 4 minutes. I still firmly believe that she fought way harder than he thought, and whatever happened in those 4 minutes. Um, I wondered though, what could he possibly be cleaning? Because so when they asked at the press conference what was the cause of death, and how long or something like that, time of death, and they said it was still too early to tell that. They didn't have that information. Well, so it's either one thing they know, and they aren't just not willing to release it yet, that she was either shot or stabbed or whatever, or she was what we thought, or at least I did, that she was strangled. Now, then I thought, well, why would he be cleaning anything? But then I remembered, what do we always talk about with Chris Watts' case? Everything, all of that kind of stuff is that when somebody is strangled, your body releases, I think it's no matter what, whenever it happens, releases everything. And so I wondered why. I wish I could type that in. Oh, that's the Twitter I'm up. I'll go over there. Okay. That your body releases everything. So that has to be, that might have been what he was cleaning. There's no way. That's possible, Aaron. There's no way he was getting all that out. Is he? Yeah. So when I watched the surveillance video of him cleaning, the one thing that I was trying to check for was shoes. Did he have shoes on at that point? Because if he did, then he went somewhere. Because we know he lost his shoes after. So did he go back? Did he go back to the Ridgeway or Ridge Lakeway, whatever, those apartments where he was found? And, you know, like there's just a lot of questions. So hold on. Let me go to where you guys were talking about. Oh, well, my son just told my daughter he loved her, so they must be getting along a little bit. All right. Oh, this is a picture of. Oh. That is just so. Sorry, that was just. So this might be the tall grass. This might be the tall grass. This must be the tall. Well, yeah, these are live seed. This must be the tall grass. That's my other question. Is did he just? I mean, was he just wait and pick? Like was he just driving around with her, waiting for? He just threw her away. I mean, he couldn't have thought that she wasn't going to be found. Hold on, I'm finding the timeline. Her family, some of her family, I don't know who was at I don't know. I'll go back to what Amber showed in a second. Was at the court hearing today. Hold on, let me see this. Criminal, he was everywhere. Really, is he? Hey, his Sally My Jack. I'm sure he was high as a kite when doing it all. I don't know, Aaron. That's a good. Now, y'all just bear with me for a second. I'm going to find that timeline. Okay, so let's say, I mean, as of now, right, we can say that we have no evidence that the husband is involved or that it was a, hold on a second. You know, I can't do this and think at the same time. So, oh, I just put EliZa Fletcher's Wi-Fi. What is? All right, here's the timeline. Um, do you think he was just waiting for somebody? Anybody? Yep, I got it. The thing is, she ran this route every day. Yeah, Amber. So I keep coming back to that, and a lot of people, not a lot, a few people. Oh, he should have hit Sally my Jack. Oh, don't even get. Oh, that. Yeah, that's what my whole rant was. The first part of this live. I do too. They did. They said, yeah. I don't know. Now the DA said there's absolutely no reason to think this is anything just other than a random attack. But of course, I mean the DA is gonna say that. So, all right. Here's a timeline. So Friday 420 is the last surveillance image of EliZa Fletcher, a mother, and we know she was just a few miles from her home on Carr Avenue. 6:45, a man riding his bike found Fletcher's damaged cell phone as well as Champion Slide's sandal on the ground of Central Ave and Zach Curlin Street. The items were turned over to the Memphis police and TBI for testing and analysis. Police were dispatched an hour later. So 7:45, are dispatched. Okay. They don't have the husband's call in there. 9 a.m., Memphis police issue a city watch for Fletcher. The first stories are posted on local media sites. Police soon reveal that they have evidence Fletcher had been forced into the passenger side of a dark SUV on Central Avenue. Multiple law enforcement agencies became involved in the search for Fletcher. No way, bro. No way by then at 9 a.m. that the brother didn't think, yeah, no way that something was up. Overnight, volunteers spent several hours searching a wooded area of Overton Park Friday night in connection with her disappearance. The park is about 1.3 miles from Fletcher's home on Carr Avenue. This is the first of several scenes police investigated. 4:09 September 3rd, police say they have found the SUV wanted in connection with Fletcher's disappearance and detained one man. The vehicle is a GMC. We know what that is. 4:30, Fletcher's family posts a video statement offering $50,000 reward. Then the TBI at that point performed a DNA test on the slides and found they belonged to Cleotha Abston after his information matched that in CODIS. Investigators managed to recover their surveillance footage showing Abston wearing the same slide days prior to the abduction. In addition, investigators were able to find Abston's cell phone number and were able to determine his phone was in the vicinity of the abduction approximately the same time it happened. Holy cow. They were able to that's crazy. I didn't know that was possible. So they found out the vicinity of his phone based on the cell phone number? Crazy. When authorities arrived at Abston's last known address, they found the GMC with the passenger side tail light damaged, backed into a parking spot. September 4th at 3:34 a.m., police announced Abston, the driver, is charged. Abston refused to provide investigators with information regarding Fletcher's location. Records show he has previous conviction for aggravated kidnapping from 2000. The case involved a prominent Memphis attorney who was abducted from Beale Street and taken to an ATM. 5:07 Monday, a body is discovered in the rear of an abandoned duplex home on Victor Street in South Memphis. And then it just says they weren't able to confirm it. Said they confirmed it this morning. Abston appeared in court today for his initial charges. District Attorney Steve Mulroy said that repeat violent offenders deserve a strong response, and that's what they'll get from this district attorney's office. Okay, well, he deserved this is like his sixth. And her family just released a statement that they're heartbroken and devastated by the senseless loss. Crazy. Okay, I gotta catch up, y'all. You know I don't like to miss comment. You don't know. I don't believe in coincidence. Yeah. Um. I know he threw out like trash cuvette. So yeah, I thought that they said something about, I don't believe in coincidence either, is he, about blood possibly being in the car. But they said blood and or evidence, I thought. He had hit her and there was blood in the car. Well, I mean, they would have determined that there was blood in the car based on having the car. So yeah, you're probably right. She brought the shears to take carpet sample. Yeah. Yeah, Izzy, I think you're right. Need carpet. Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, I mean they have checked from my understanding there was a ton of police at his business. I would imagine they have not spared any. I'm sure they've been watching him, obviously. I think they probably needed to find her first before it will be, I don't know, before they, I don't know, it will be hard to tie him to. I mean, there's just so many things I don't understand. Yeah, I don't know his Sally, my Jack. Um, I don't think I I don't think he was, that no one knew that he was going to do this. I just don't. I try I try to say it's random, but then I think of what Crafton said. It's right next to University of Memphis. People jog all the time there at that hour, all the time. Could he have thought she was a student and grabbed her? It's highly possible. But and maybe it's because I have to feel like there's just some reason that this animal would do this that would be a motive. But at the end of the day, maybe there wasn't. Maybe he's just a coward that, yeah, is he? Yeah. He, and there was one theory that said, well, maybe that, he took her knowing who she was and he was waiting for a big ransom and then everything went south. But I don't know. I'm just not getting a ransom vibe out of this. I don't know. He was at the top of, really, Aaron? I'll have to look at that. I don't know. Oh, DNA prior to say there were DNA evidence to prove his DNA prior. Oh my goodness. Well, hold on a second. Let's go back to the original affidavit. Let me find that real quick. Okay, if you hear my family talking about, oh my goodness, I don't even know what's going on out there, but um I did hear that Kylie Rodney's autopsy results aren't going to be released for 2 months. That means 2 whole months of solid conspiracy theories. I can't find it. Oh, duh. How about I just do this? Here we go. All right, let's look at this. Aaron, I don't think I did. Yeah, me too. The brother actually was more alarming to me. Okay, so I just want to re-look at this affidavit because of what we know now. So it says on Friday at 7 a.m., Memphis officers responded to 1500. We know that. So this was after 7 a.m. Uh, the husband calls. So she said she went for her run at 4 a.m., had not returned. She was last seen wearing a pink shirt, purple shorts, and running shoes. Now, I don't know. I would assume then that she was found. She was found with her shirt on. I don't know. I have not caught that part. We knew about Miles and the bike. Investigators located video surveillance 3876 Central Ave that showed a black terrain passing and then waiting for the victim to run by. So, okay, so let's dissect that. Therefore, investigators located surveillance that showed a black terrain passing, so I'm assuming passing her, and then waiting for the victim to run by. Okay, well, yeah, I mean, okay. A male exited the GMC terrain, ran aggressively toward the victim, and then forced the victim, EliZa Fletcher, into the passenger side of the vehicle. During the abduction, there appeared to be a struggle. The champion slides sandals were found in this area. Okay. All right. Okay. So hold up a second. Okay. So I can't see chat. So y'all be nice and answer. Um, so we can assume that so he passes and then he's waiting for her to run by. She runs by. He exits there and ran to her and then forces her in. Okay, so he forced her into the passenger side of the vehicle during the abduction. So, all right, so the champion slides were found in this area, I'm going to guess near the vehicle. The vehicle then sat in the parking lot with the victim inside for approximately 4 minutes before it drove off, which is, I think, when things happen. Um, the vehicle had noticeable damage to the back passenger taillight. Additionally, approximately 24 minutes before the abduction, surveillance footage captured the same vehicle in the area and captured a partial plate. All right, hold on. Let me see if you guys said anything, and then we'll go back to that. You're right, Ed. Yeah, clearly, Ed, from his, I think this deserves a comment of the day. Yep, Ed's right. He doesn't have an IQ to pull off anything. So, Butterfly, that was what was said, but it was never. Yeah, Ed, he did. That was how. Ed, it was by his phone number. They could track. He had it on, so they could track where he had been that day. Yeah. Um, so Butterfly Angel, they never confirmed whether or not they actually found anything there. All I know is that the shorts were found down the road from where she was found. Okay, continuing on. On September 2nd, the champion slide sandals were sent to TBI for DNA testing. Thereafter, investigators developed Cleotha Abstin as a person of interest in the investigation. DNA found the shoes matched DNA for Cleotha Abstins in the CODIS database. Well, yeah, because he's been there about a million times. This led investigators to seek to confirm the whereabouts of him. I'm just trying to get to so they were able to get the surveillance footage wearing the same champion slides the day before the abduction. So okay, so the day before he was abducted, he was at the Melco Theater. That is where the girl worked that charged him with like theft for his that Cash App. So then he was found to reside. They told we don't need to. I just want to see what he says about the investigators obtained records for his phone number and determined the cellular device with that was okay. So it doesn't say anything. Oh, as the abduction was violent, with as captured on video, the suspect waiting for then rushing toward the victim, then forcing the victim. Yeah, it doesn't say anything, but I know what you guys are talking about. Wow. Hold on, I gotta go back. Because I do remember, I just thought that was really funny what Ed said. Even if he turned it off her watch, that is so, Ed, I didn't even think about that, y'all. That is such a good point. So we're all thinking he's such an idiot, which granted he is. But hey, Kellyanne, if we also think about it too, is this is his first, I guess, major crime he's committed since 2000. And she didn't just have a Garmin watch. I mean, she had probably the best Garmin watch you could have out there because she used it training for the Boston Marathon. So not only did this dude pick the wrong girl, I mean, yeah. And so I just, wow, I'm thinking it was for ransom. He would have done it. I think so, Eva, if it was for ransom. I think unless, we get some sort of concrete evidence that a family member is involved, which I don't think at this point we haven't even seen little evidence of that. It may very well be that she was just in the wrong place at the wrong time. I don't know. True, Izzy. He really has no idea of that type of modern technology. I don't think he got out and bought a Garmin and went running very much. And I was looking at back images of her running, like we all saw the photo of her running. She's 34, right? So it's not like she was a 6-year-old woman running. I mean, she did, if he was trying to catch a student or something like that. And when we're talking about a guy who neighbors of his brother claim frequently asked women for relations for $100 in the neighborhood, that creeped out the neighborhood, as well as he went to juvie for a charge of SA. At the end of the day, I was he going to always kill her? I don't know. I assume so. But I think that it he did it right away because of how much she fought, in my opinion. And again, we will know more once that kind of the autopsy and stuff. You're right. You're right, Ed. Then his ex-girlfriend or whoever he was with got so mad at him or so disgusted she ended up wasn't that part of her theft thing, that one of the charges? Yeah, Aaron, for sure. If anything, yeah, he'd do a pay me off type of thing. But again, like it just the connection for the family. The part that is lacking is what would the connection be between him and the family? Like how would they have known each other for it to be a payoff type of thing? So he Cleopatra, yeah, and right along. I mean, the guy goes by the name Pookie. He's gonna need to use that name in prison here soon. And he could also be one of those guys that just was like, hey, I don't want to be out in the outside world anymore. I kind of liked prison. I just think he was way too panicked to have it I don't know, for it to have been something that's really thought through. He is he? Like I can't wait till he goes back to jail. His brothers, like they're all in jail, that whole family. I can't wait till he goes back to prison and they're like, "You're so dumb." Like it's just, I mean, none of it. He was absolutely panicked. I mean, there was no. I mean, he dumps her shorts down the road, and no matter what, I would think there was still going to be evidence of him on her, and he couldn't have thought she wasn't going to be found in that location. I just, would his SUV have a box? Yeah, butterfly angel, it should. It just depends on the year it was. Oh, like a black box? I don't know. Izzy, I know, right? Family reunion in prison. Good Lord. None of these things, I just wish criminals would just start offing each other instead of innocent people. And I'm sorry, but these people, these are the ones that you just go, I look at pictures people are displaying of her boys and stuff, even JB and News Nation and a lot of Ian Ripple, who covered a lot of this case, fantastic, with images and stuff, said that he had to kind of step back today because I think it's just those you just go, what? Why? Why? Like the woman had like 2,000 friends on Facebook. She was loved by everyone. Just, I don't know. Now, I'm not ruling out that there can't be other people involved in this at all. At all. I hope that he talks a little bit and says maybe some of his reasonings, but at this point, from what I've read everywhere, is he is not being cooperative at all. I would have thought if somebody hired him, wouldn't he have snitched him out by now? Netflix and Hulu, he was so high looking. Oh, that's true, Aaron. Really, Butterfly Angel? Really? His brother that was arrested for the drugs wife had passed not too long ago from an overdose. Well, then who's the woman that was with the brother? Wow. Man, Butterfly, I don't know. There's another absent, I think is a cousin or a brother. I haven't yet figured out who he is in relation, but he's in prison for killing his ex-girlfriend. So, I mean, and that trial starts October 3rd. So maybe he wanted to be in there to support him. I don't know. Oh my gosh, Aaron. Very interesting. I don't know. Pure evil. I don't know what state it was. I can't remember, but I just saw an article that they were like that they were calling for like thousands to be released from prison and stuff. And I'm thinking, man, we really got to look long and hard. So that's the thing, Ed. That's the thing. And that's where I've gone. If you're a husband and you're going to hire somebody and you're going to go to the extreme to hire somebody, you're going to make sure the guy has some sort of a plan, some sort of a, like Ed saying, $100 pair of running shoes. Um, to me, the husband was genuinely upset. I think there was, I'm not saying that somebody else is involved. I just don't have enough evidence to think yet that the husband was, because yeah, it's just, yeah, he was sloppy. I mean, if you're going to hire somebody, you're going to hire somebody that's, and not that I've thought about, but yeah, exactly. Like you just, what made him decide at that moment that, he was going to do it? Because it doesn't, Izzy. I know either, and I, was one of the first ones jumping on that Friday night when this first went, bonkers on the internet, and the rumor of the nanny came out and all of this stuff. And I thought to myself afterwards, like, Parker, that was, better than that. Like that instantly was before any facts. No, Ed, I just was like, yep, that's it, without any factual evidence that there was a nanny or anything. And that completely turned my bias then, because then I kept looking at, it had to be him. It had to be him. And I just, now, yeah, it's just not adding up to be him involved in this. I think they legitimately had problems and he was in recovery and or he they it I just yeah, I don't see it. Yeah, exactly, Aaron. That's true, Aaron. And he didn't wait to call in. My guess is if it would be like my husband, he's sleeping because it wasn't his day to run. Because they remember they alternated 2 days a week. He ran or did his biking, and then 2 days a week, so somebody would be with the kids. She ran. So I think he woke up, realized, oh my gosh, it's 7 o'clock. She's not home from her run yet. She left at 4, and then you get worried because he calls, she doesn't answer, that type of thing. At least that's what I imagine. So yeah, he called her right in. He to me looked legitimately brokenhearted, and the mom, that poor woman. I just, it's just a really terrible. There's no, who knows, Pookie or whatever he did. I don't know why he picked that morning. You're right, Aaron. Great point. Oh, both Ed and Aaron had great points. You're, that's true, Aaron, and I love this too. They took things from home. That's also a really good point, Ed. Because if we remember correctly, well, no, that goodness, yeah, they had sandals from his Ed. I bet you're right because they had sandals from 6:45 that morning, or from as soon as they were dispatched out there. Sandals were in hand. Interesting. Wow, I didn't even think about that. Now, the relation between the Kemper Duran working at the same law firm as her uncle I mean it's weird, right? There's no doubt about it. It's weird, but so far we can't find any reason that 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 plays into this at all, other than Pookie is just that stupid. That's a good point, Ed. Wow, that's true because Izzy, you guys are right because as soon as police showed up on Saturday at Gwendolyn Brown's house or apartment, they said he was standing in the doorway, like with the door open. And then he went to the car and tried to flee, and that's when they had the accident by like hitting him in the front. Um, so he knew. Dang. Oh, Aaron, I'll watch that. I'll watch that for sure. But if you guys get a chance to look up, oh, now I can't remember. Hold on. Who did I gotta remember her name. 1 second. Don't leave me. I believe it. Oh, I have to remember. I'll post it. The other case with a girl whose son saw her thrown in the trunk in South Carolina. That is true, Ed. Yep. Yeah. I mean, we cannot deny that law enforcement, FBI, whoever, I mean, they did a phenomenal job with this case. They really did. Um, so, but all right, y'all. I will touch base with you tomorrow and we'll follow this, see what happens and stuff. I'm sure we'll be hearing. other tidbits, and each day, I'll throw updates in there and stuff. And we'll kind of see what happens. They did, Ed, for sure. I mean, heck, we all we all, I mean, look at all of us in here. We still were on the nanny that may or may not even exist, and well, hopefully him and just, but anyways. All right, guys. Well, I will talk to you tomorrow, and appreciate you guys, and we'll start some other cases too this week. Talk to y'all soon. They did, Izzy. Plus side, they found 2 girls alive. They did. All right, y'all. Thanks. Bye.